And Terry Sandhu, the executive director of the Hard-Headed Women here, summed it up very well, that her organization is here to help women transform their lives. And here's an example of a woman whose life has been transformed by Hard-Headed Women. Aurea Soto, a single mother, unemployed, and struggling to support her family. She came to Hard-Headed Women and completed its pre-apprenticeship training program this spring and went on to a highway maintenance apprenticeship program run by the Ohio Department of Transportation. She's now a highway technician with ODOT with job security, good wages, and full benefits to support her and her family. The exciting thing that is happening at the Women's Bureau is that our Labor Secretary, Hilda Solis, has made it her top priority to create good jobs for America's workers. Her vision is good jobs for everyone, and she was the author of the Green Jobs Act when she was in Congress. She's a strong advocate for women to shed pink-collar jobs for green-collar jobs. Earlier this year, she hosted a Green Jobs for Women roundtable in Washington, D.C., inviting experts and policymakers across the country to discuss this important issue. So what are good jobs? In our definition, that these are jobs that pay sustainable wages and have career pathways, jobs that help workers to stay in middle class and also help those to move up to middle class. And many of these other green jobs are the good jobs we promote. As we know, because women tend to be the nurturer, we look for jobs that are meaningful to us and also to the society. And this is why that you see more women in education, nursing, and social services. We now have a wonderful opportunity to guide women to explore careers in green industries. Jobs not only are good for the environment, but are fulfilling and sustaining for our families. I also want to point out a woman, Holly Harlan, who is in the audience back there. Holly, do you want to raise your hand? Growing up, Holly was always good at math and science, but did not consider herself a career in engineering until a high school guidance counselor, who happened to be a woman, encouraged her to pursue it and helped her receive grants and scholarships for college. She became an industrial engineer at John Deere and GE. Over the years, she had the opportunity to help out with the development of new startups. As a result, because as an engineer, as having worked with all the manufacturers, Holly transformed herself to start Entrepreneurs for Sustainability. And I think the short is E4S. And this is an organization that has become the gathering place for businesses of all sizes in the Cleveland area, and for those who are interested in realizing profits, but also for social benefits of sustainability. Holly is the kind of role model that women and girls should know, because not only did Holly reinvent herself, but she demonstrated that women can and will succeed in the revolutionary green industries. We should give her an applause. And this is also why the Women's Bureau is holding Women and Green Jobs roundtables across the country to encourage women to actively participate in the green economy, to reinvent themselves, to join the green movement so that they are not left behind in what I think is the industrial revolution of the 21st century. We had a very stimulating an insightful roundtable on women and green jobs this morning. Some of you were there. And I wanted first to thank Sue and Terry for organizing that. And you should have seen how Sue worked. I mean, she's a super, super organizer, and we weren't behind even for 1 minute, and everything flowed very smoothly. I thank you. We had a lot of influential women in the state of Ohio as speakers, and one of them is here, Judy Graber from OSU's Institute on Women, Gender, and Public Policy. And I want to thank, again, Terry and Sue for bringing a very powerful group of men and women to engage in this important dialogue for the city of Cleveland and for the state of Ohio. I learned so much from the participants. They gave me information and recommendations for me to bring back to the Secretary of Labor and the Women's Bureau. Yesterday, actually, I came from a meeting with Secretary Solis when she was in Chicago, and I told her that I was coming to Cleveland to hold the Green Jobs Roundtable for Women, and she was really excited, and she said that she's very much looking forward to receiving our input from this roundtable. This is our time. Studies show women are gaining power because statistics show that businesses with more women in senior positions perform better. Women's more inclusive management style is being seen as a better way of doing business in this century, in this new century. As you know, we are good at multitasking and problem solving, probably from running a household. And these are great skills that help make good business decisions. And businesses also finally realize that women make the majority of purchasing decisions for their families. This necessitates companies to employ more women to design and market their products to please their number one customers. With women earning more college and postgraduate degrees, becoming equal breadwinners, women have never been hotter. I want to tell you about a woman who is the CEO of Harris Bank in Chicago, Ellen Costello. I think she's hot right now. You know why? Under her leadership, when other institutions reached far beyond their means during the mortgage-led boom, Harris Bank remained a moderate credit risk profile. And now Harris is the one in the driver's seat, making acquisitions and hiring while other financial institutions have busted. I'd like to think that her careful approach to risk is an example of why women's management style is becoming more favorable in this economic climate. And I can't help wondering if our economic crisis could have been averted if women were in charge of companies such as Lehman Brothers or AIG. Another example of a hot woman is Brenda Barnes, the president and CEO of Sara Lee, which is also based in Chicago. As many of you who are familiar with her background, Brenda Barnes shocked the business world by leaving her high-profile position as the CEO of Pepsi-Cola to devote her time and attention to her 3 children. After 3 years, she returned to the workforce full-time to become the CEO at Sara Lee. It was through her own experience with a career break that prompted her to start a program at Sara Lee in last year that's called Returnship, offering opportunities for women who have work experience and skills but need to ease back into the workforce and to rebuild their confidence.